Assalamu alaikum. How are you all doing at home? I hope you will be doing well. Well, I am Zebat Hussain, the teacher of the educator, Farooq Arts campus. This video is about the grammar tree class 8. Okay students, today our topic is non-finite verbs. Before learning this, we should be knowing what verbs are. So verbs are actions that we perform. Okay, verbs can be divided into two types, finite and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs actually are the root actions. Finite verbs are the actions that are performed in an independent clause on root basis, whereas the other verbs that are needed to complete action but they are not performed as a root action in an independent clause are non-finite verbs. I'll give you example. Non-root actions. He wants to meet me. Here in this sentence we can see there are two verbs, wants and meet. But the basic verb, the root action which is performed in this action is wants. His want or his desire to meet. So this is a finite verb, whereas to meet is the non-finite verb. Now we should be learning what a finite verb, what a non-finite verb is. So basically a non-finite, as the name suggests, it is not bound by number or tense. It is not bound by number or tense. See, in this sentence you see, with he we use in finite verb we make what? We make a change of s. We add an s here. But the non-finite verb is not changed. In the other sentence, see, I want to meet him. You want to meet me. Or she wanted to meet me. Non-finite verbs are not changed by number. In this sentence, you see, the finite verb is changed, but non-finite verb is not changed. It's not bound by number of he or you, or it's not even changed or bound by tense. The root verb is changed, which is the finite verb, but the non-finite verb is not changed here. Students, since I told you that finite verbs are limited by number or person or by tense, and non-finite verbs are not limited. These rules of number or person do not apply to non-finite verbs. See how? With she, this is the past tense. So with she, we use the second form of verb in finite verb. That's okay. It helps it. Actually, a finite verb helps us in identifying tense. You can say this. It helps us in identifying tense, whereas non-finite verbs do not perform any such action or task or function. And non-finite verbs are there to make the sentence complete at the very first place, and the second thing is they are used to make the sentence understandable, right? So this is here, but it is not functioning as a finite verb, or it's not functioning to identify the tense. Neither the rule of tense or number implies on this verb that is running. She launched her boat in running stream. Launch tells us the tense. Launch is applied here with used here with the second form of verb. But running, which is another verb used here, but it does not help us telling the tense of this sentence. Okay. Now second sentence. Now see, in this second and third sentence, I will tell you the rule of number or person here. With boy, we use SES or IES in simple present form. We add S or ES or IES with the verb, but with the main verb, that is the root verb, that is the finite verb, right? And the running, which is a non-finite verb, it is remain unchanged. We do not change it. It's as it is. Now see, in the third example, I, which is the first person pronoun, the rule of number or person implies here. With I, do not add any S, ES or IES with simple present tense, and it would be a finite verb, right? Whereas the non-finite verb, it remains unchanged. I will be giving you an example. So we know that finite verbs are limited by number, person or by tense, and non-finite verbs, they are not limited or bound in any way, as the name suggests, that not finite, not bound. Okay, so for finite verb, to make it easier, I am going to give you this example. This is example with tense, right? This finite verb actually helps out to identify the tense, whereas a non-finite verb, there in the sentence, see the sentence, he received an opened letter, right? There are two verbs in it, opened and received. There are two verbs in it, but which verb actually helps us in identifying the tense? This is received. The verb received is actually helping us identify the tense. So this would be said that this is a finite verb, whereas opened is not helping us identifying the tense. So it is also used as with a noun. So this is what? This is a non-finite verb. Now see this example. This tense, in the first example, we know that this is simple past tense. Now see that another example, he will receive an opened letter. In this tense again, will receive helps us identify the tense that it is simple future, whereas opened is not changed with the change of tense. Now see, example with person or numbers. This is the second example that we are going to do for finite and non-finite verbs are being identified with these two. So they pronounce a heartbreaking news, right? There are two verbs. Pronounce and breaking, these are two verbs here, and the same sentence is here but with the change of a person. This is third person plural, this is second person. We have just one person in the second pronoun. So with the second person plural, the verb pronounce does not add SES or IES as per the rule. SES and IES in simple present tense are added only with first person pronoun, second person pronoun and third person singular pronouns. Okay, so we see that this is a bare verb, does not have any SES or IES or ED to show the past participle form of verb. So this tells that this is simple present tense, right? So we would say that this is helping us out to identify the tense. Whereas the other verb that is coming, being followed by a noun, is the non-finite verb which is not changed due to the presence of this third person plural pronoun. See the second sentence. In this second sentence, we see that there are again the same verbs like word in the first sentence. You pronounce a heartbreaking news. So pronounce is a verb and breaking. It should be she pronounced. Right? She pronounced a heartbreaking news. So she is the third person singular she. With she, what should we do? We should be adding SES or IES, as the rule says that finite verbs are bound by numbers or persons. So we should be adding S here. Once the S is added here, once the S is added here, we can say that this is the very first thing that the rule of number implies here. The very second thing that the tense can now be identified here now. So the tense here is simple present tense and the verb here would be finite verb, whereas the other verb which is coming in succession of a noun would be a non-finite verb, that is breaking. So we have seen that in all these cases, in the tense case change, in the number case change, the main verbs, the root verbs, the action verbs are definitely changed, but the other words that are used with nouns are not changed, but they are necessary to be used in for completion of sentences and make the sentence understandable. But the rules of this tense and number do not imply on these verbs. That is why they are called non-finite verbs. Now there is this exercise for our practice in which we have to identify finite and non-finite verbs in the following sentences. There are 6 sentences here. So the very first sentence says he has gone to buy a new car. So he has gone tells us what? It tells us the tense of the noun, the tense of the sentence. So it would be a finite finite verb, whereas to by that is used here as for the completion of sentence is the non-finite verb because it doesn't help us identify the tense. Now see the second. Government has imposed taxes. There is just one verb used in this sentence which is imposed, and it is used with an auxiliary verb has, so it would be the finite verb. It has no infinite verb in this sentence. See the third sentence, they have stopped all moving cars. So in this sentence, have stopped help us identify the tense, so it would be a finite verb, whereas moving car that is used in succession of a noun doesn't help us identify the tense but is used as for the completion of sentence, so it is a non-finite verb. See the fourth sentence, we will search for rhyming words. So will search again helps us identify the tense, so it would be finite verb, whereas rhyming words are non-finite verb. Six, this fifth sentence here, you are thinking to give me a serious advice. So are thinking helps us identify tense, finite verb, to give a non-finite verb here. It's not helping us identify tense but definitely helping to make the sentence completely understandable. That labor went off brushing dust. So went off is the verb that is used as finite verb, whereas brushing is the non-finite verb. So this is it for today's class. Next further explanation would be provided to you in the next class, but for now you will be doing this exercise at home in your copies of identifying the finite and non-finite verbs, and copy down these 6 sentences in your copies and maintain them well like the way you do. Okay, this is it. Zeba Tahir Hussain signing off. Allah Hafiz.